Okay, so this video is basically about beginning linear equations. Right now we'll find equations in the form, or we'll find x in equations in the form ax equals b, where a and b are the coefficients or regular numbers such as 1, 2, 10, 54, basically any number, and x is the variable we're looking for. So if we're given the equation in the form of, let's say, we'll do something simple first, 2x equals 4, and you're asked to look for 4, or look for x, find x. What do you do? So there's actually two different ways of doing this. You can either divide each side by the number in front of x to get rid of it, which is 2, divided by 2. The reason you're using 2 is because you have 2x, so you divide by 2, which makes this equal to 1. So 1x, or simply x, equals 4 divided by 2, which is equal to 2. Another way of doing this actually is using fractions. If you have the original equation 2x equals 4, you can multiply both sides by 1/2. And this dot right here, it basically represents the multiplication symbol. So if you multiply both sides by 1/2, you cross multiply, equals 2 divided by 2 is 1, so 1 times 1 is x, equals 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2 times 1 is 2, and you have x equals 2. If this is confusing, I will do a couple more problems so you can kind of get a feel of what I'm doing. So looking at a harder problem, if we have, let's say, 3x equals 5, what do you do? So if you want to divide by the coefficient, you can divide both sides by 3, because you want to get rid of the 3 in front of here, and you're left with x equals 5/3, and you're done, because you can't simplify this any further. Or you can also multiply by the fraction. So if you have 3x equals 5, you would basically times this by 1/3, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1, 5 divided by 3 is 5/3, and you're left with x equals 5/3. Now, why is this? Although the fraction part seems kind of confusing, why is it important? Well, it's important in case your coefficient in front is actually a fraction. So if you have something like 1/3 x equals, let's say, 7, what do? You can divide by 3, but that would kind of make this messy. So the easier thing to do would be to multiply this by 3. Now, why would you multiply this by 3? You would do 3 because you're trying to find a number where if you complete the fraction, the answer becomes 1. So what times 1/3 equals 1? Well, 3. 3 times 1/3 would equal 1. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So we have 1x equals, and you times this by 3 over 1, which is basically 21 over 1, which is 21. So x equals 21. Say you're given the example, let's see, 2/7 x equals 1/3. What do you do? So you want to make this equal 1. So what times 2 over 7 equals 1? Well, you have 7 over 2, because 7 divided by 7 equals 1, and 2 divided by 2 equals 1. So you have x, or 1x, equals 1/3 times 7 over 2, because you multiply this side by 7 over 2. You want to do the same thing on this side. So 1 times 7 is 7, 3 times 2 is 6, so you have 1x equals 7/6. Now, what's an easy way of, I guess, visualizing how to make a certain fraction equal to 1? Well, just to do some review, say that you have this number, 3/4 x. How do you make this into 1? You basically just put the denominator, which is 4, on top, and the numerator, which is 3, on bottom. and these cancel out and make it 1. So if you have, let's say, 2 over 11 x, how do you do it? So put the 11 on top and a 2 on bottom. So you have 11 divided by 11, which is 1, and 2 divided by 2, which equals to 1. So 1 times 1 is x. Yeah, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks.